Tesla's Gigapress is revolutionizing the automobile industry. The company has invested heavily in its gigapresses and continues to do so. Do those big machines, however, provide an advantage over the competition? Tesla is a corporation that is used to accomplishing ambitious goals. It's not surprising, then, that gigapresses can be found in its factories. These are enormous by any standard, and they will most likely dwarf your house. Hello, and welcome to Inferno Rocket, where we'll keep you up to date on all things Tesla, SpaceX, and Elon Musk. A gigapress is a die-casting machine that is one of the most powerful ever constructed. Clamping forces of 61 kilonewtons. They weigh more than 400 tons and transporting just one requires more than 20 flatbed trucks. They are 20 meters long, 7.5 meters wide, and 6 meters tall. They're created by IDRA, an Italian manufacturing company that has benefited from Tesla's favor on several occasions. With several orders that have yet to be fulfilled, according to what we've heard. Despite the fact that the name Gigapress is associated with Tesla's Gigafactory, it was initially coined by IDRA. Tesla builds its car's chassis in single components, using the Gigapress. This means, Tesla only needs to deal with 3 parts, rather than the hundreds it would have had to deal with if it had followed the auto industry's long-standing practice of bolting and welding parts together. A gigapress is similar to any other die-casting machine in that it uses a plunger to drive hot molten metal into a reusable mold. The scale at which a gigapress achieves it, is what sets it apart. To give you an idea, consider a plastic toy vehicle. The cheaper ones are normally built from a single solid piece, before the tires are glued on, and the more expensive ones, are built with several solid pieces, bolted and welded on together, which costs money, and also takes longer to manufacture. But now imagine a car's entire chassis being constructed in the same way, but this time out of metal. The chassis will be made up of 3 parts, the front and back components, which will be linked by a battery pack framework. The construction of a car chassis with a gigapress occurs in stages. Spraying soybean oil into the mold is the first stage in the preparation process. This is required to make it simple to remove the completed chassis out of the mold. This is necessary in order for the mold to be reusable. The metal is melted in a separate furnace from the gigapress. Tesla's chassis is made out of metal and silicone. In technical terms, this means it's an alloy. The alloy melts at roughly 850 degrees Celsius, after which the plunger forces the appropriate amount into the mold. After cooling to 400 degrees Celsius, the mold is opened, and the chassis is put into a pool of water by a robot for further cooling to 50 degrees Celsius. Finally, the chassis will be examined for flaws and rough edges will be cut off. Following that, robots will drill all of the appropriate holes. Gigapresses demand a significant financial commitment as well as installation space. So, before committing to them, Tesla must have recognized the clear benefits. By the way, if you like what you're seeing, please subscribe to our channel, where we keep you up to date on all the latest news from Elon Musk, Tesla, SpaceX, and, of course, Neuralink. It only takes a few seconds to subscribe, and while you're there, if you could leave a like on the video, that would be greatly appreciated. In the automotive business, the gigapress is a game changer. The most obvious advantage is speed. According to IDRA specifications, the aluminum-silicone alloy can transform from molten metal to a chassis in under 100 seconds. When you consider all of the labor stages needed in producing and then fastening more than 100 parts together, that's a scorching speed. It simply means that Tesla has the capacity to produce more cars than the competition. JP Morgan went to see a gigapress in action and was blown away. Using a 4 to 5 minute cycle time, they calculated that a single factory with 10 gigapresses working continuous shifts could create 350,000 Model Y chassis per year. This is due to the fact that the Model Y chassis demands the use of 2 gigapresses. That number rises as the gigapresses get closer to the manufacturer's specifications. The ones at the Fremont factory, for example, have been observed to perform the job in under 200 seconds, despite the fact that they are still being optimized. This means that a new facility can easily produce 100,000 units in its first year. In the realm of automobile manufacturing, such high numbers are practically unheard of. Remember that Tesla plans to produce 750,000 cars this year and 50 more the following year. The Gigapress is one of the not-so-secret weapons. With gigapresses firing in Fremont, Austin, Shanghai, and Berlin, the target of over 1 million automobiles doesn't seem so out of reach. The gigapress's next advantage is cost savings, which is something Musk is devoted about. Despite the large initial investment, the cost of manufacture per vehicle decreases as many operational expenditures are eliminated. A single gigapress, for example, eliminates around 300 robots because there isn't much loading or lifting to be done. According to Musk himself, which is saying a lot given the Model 3's failure to use a robot-assisted manufacturing method. The gigapresses actually reduced the amount of space required by roughly 30%. Manufacturing cost is much less. We see about a 30% reduction in the size of the body shop. Given the massive size of the machines, this may come as a surprise. However, there is less space and fewer robots. As a result, the maintenance budget will be cut, and individuals will lose their employment. Gigapresses, on the other hand, make a lot of economic sense. Consider the logistics of producing more than 100 pieces in several locations, transporting them to the assembly factory and inspecting them for quality. With its army of gigapresses, Tesla is able to sidestep all of this. When all factors are considered, the cost of producing a chassis lowers by around 40% when gigapresses are used. Remember that Musk truly wants to develop a less expensive electric automobile. With all of the cost reductions, a $25,000 electric car may be looking more feasible. As we all know, Tesla is establishing research and manufacturing facilities in China, with the express goal of figuring out how to manufacture a low-cost automobile. As you might expect, a gigapress will be one of the first things to be installed. The automobiles benefit from the single-piece chassis in several ways. For one thing, they are free of faults associated with welding and bolting sections together, such as weak joints and mismatched parts. Despite being structurally superior, they also weigh less. For the same battery capacity, this means better range. This essentially indicates that Tesla has discovered a faster and less expensive way to build better automobiles than its predecessors. Tesla has placed more gigapress orders from IDRA, putting it ahead of the competition. For its next Cybertruck and semi-truck, it will most likely use a gigapress. Despite the fact that the former's steel framework will require more power to cast. The rear body of the pickup truck would require an 8,000-ton casting press, according to Musk. Amusingly, IDRA itself announced the placement of an order for an 8,000-ton casting machine. Without identifying who the client is, the gigapress was revealed to be employed for the production of new energy vehicles by a significant worldwide manufacturer, pointing to Tesla. Apart from that, sources have informed industry analyst Sandy Munro, who notoriously criticized the number of parts in the Model 3, that Tesla will use 11 gigapresses throughout its 4 sites. The Berlin plant, in what will be a significant scale-up, will have at least one when it comes online this year. There are already several in Fremont and Shanghai. Tesla isn't the first manufacturer to use castings. Cadillac, BMW, and Audi have all done it in the past. However, no one has attempted it at the massive casting level that Tesla is. It remains to be seen how the rest of the industry will strive to catch up. However, we know that the automotive industry is not one that jumps at the chance to change things, so Tesla may be able to maintain its lead for a while. Even JP Morgan expects that only emerging firms, which are flexible enough to react to changes, will be able to follow Tesla's lead. For the time being, the only other company that uses a gigapress is based in South Korea. Glovatech, which doesn't even build automobiles, utilizes the gigapress to make parts for its 5G wireless communications. Who's eager to see how the gigapress will continue to innovate the car industry? Let us know your thoughts on the topic in the comment section below. A quick reminder to subscribe to our channel. There's a link down below for more Tesla news and conjecture. If you want to learn more about Tesla, SpaceX, and Elon Musk, we have 2 more video alternatives for you to watch on the screen. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more weekly news like this.